Mhm. And we are live. All right. Welcome back to the Concerned Citizens podcast. We are your host. I am the Lurker, and we have Godmomma. We.
We are back today with another Rising Transit report, and today we are bringing to you kind of something that's been a little strange. We've heard that monkeypox is kind of back on the rise, and it has a different strain attached to it, and some things that happened earlier, or what we found out as citizens earlier this rising.
Yeah, we got some interesting stuff popping up on the trending topics. Y'all go ahead and get comfortable, Grand Rising, and let's get to it. We.
Straight up, straight to a penthouse, Miami Beach. Hey, yo, talk crazy on tweets. They don't want it cause I come to defeat. They don't want it. I peep, these niggas all sweet. Bamboo sticks all in the Jeep. It's a new weirdo every week. Get the work, put it up for my seeds. No care for the IG, just no care. Anything for clout. They do anything for clout. Do anything for clout. They do anything for clout. Do anything for clout. They do anything for clout. Do anything for clout.
Whole lot of people need to hear this. It's a lot of names on my hit list. I'll still say what he wants to. Still wet like a big. I should run a whole blog at this rate. They using my name for clickbait. Even wanna start fake beef.
We. That's such a cute little new intro, Godmomma.
Thank you.
I
I love
love
that
it.
one.
Just up there giggling, girl. Like, we
That's
ain't got
all
no.
we That's all we do is giggle.
Just be up here giggling, Grand Rising Nikki. How are you, Mama?
Rich rise, rich rise.
All right, well, let's get into this. Let me share my screen. We got a little video queued up over here. We're going to watch this video and then we're going to discuss a little bit about it. Because I had a situation pop off in April. So let's watch this. This is only a little minute. Hold on, let's see what they talking about.
A lawsuit has been filed in federal court in Fort Lauderdale in connection to the massive data breach that compromised the Social Security information of more than 3 billion Americans. A California man filed the suit against the Coral Springs-based National Public Data, a company that collects personal data to resell, also processes background checks. The plaintiff claims the company failed to, quote, properly secure and safeguard the personally identifiable information that it collected and maintained as a part of its regular business practices. Experts advise that if you're a victim of this breach, immediately put a freeze on all your credit files at the 3 major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. That's to prevent any data trouble in the future. They also advise that you have strong passwords and use 2-factor authentication. That adds just another layer of security to your login.
Okay. So we had a security breach with some company that wants to sell our information third party, which is not unheard of, right? And we need to
Right.
crack down more on that.
Hmm.
However, Godmama was telling me that this actually took place back in April.
Yes.
And here
To a
we are
man
in
in
August.
California. Yeah. It was a
Mhm.
man in California. He was just, as some people do, check their credit report and he noticed some errors. So he reported it and an investigation ensued. Come to find out, I think it's like 2.8 billion people. They have
Mm.
all of their information: first name, middle name, last name, birth date, address, social security number, all of your personal information they have access to. And so at first they tried to ransom it off for like 3.5 million or billion, something like that. And then they ended
Wow.
up just giving it out for free on the dark web.
Wow.
Right.
So
I
that, yeah,
hmm,
that was back in April is around tax season for some people. Some people file earlier. Some people file a little later or something.
mhm.
Um, but I know this year I got flagged by the IRS and they said, "Hey, we need you to verify who you are." And I was like, "What?" So I had to
Right.
go through this whole situation and then come to find out they said, "Well, somebody tried to file a return under your identity." And
Mhm.
I'm thinking to myself, like, who would do that? I mean, if you know me, you know my financial situation. You know, like who would go and do all that? Like, you're not gonna get a big old return. You're gonna end up owing, okay? If you
You're
playing
gonna
around
pay
in my
it?
name,
Thank you.
okay? The type of money that come through here, baby, you gonna end up owing the IRS. So trying to get that, I'm not the one you would want to fraud. Okay, I'm not the one you want to fraud. But I also told Godmama, I remember there was a huge line out in some major cities where people
Mhm.
were going through the same thing,
Yep.
where they were having to prove their identity. And
Yep.
I didn't once think, oh, some hackers I never once
But
thought of
you
that. I never
remember
looked into it.
but do you remember also around that time, one of those banks was shut completely down,
Mm-hmm.
where people couldn't access their money, couldn't use their cards, nothing, like all around that same time. So, social media has taken it and grown legs. Like Twitter has taken it, as I call it, but I seen it on Instagram, has taken it and grown legs. And the running joke is now to basically call and report your mortgage,
Wow.
that you don't know who purchased this mortgage under under your name. This has nothing to do with you.
Mm,
So they're saying if you know the loopholes, if you know how to work the system lawfully, you know legalese, or you know how to utilize Chat GPT, now is the time, if you want some things removed off of your credit, you
mm-hmm.
might want to put your best foot forward.
Mm,
Um, because this is a huge breach to people's information, and it went on in April, and they're
mm-hmm.
not even completely done with the investigation.
Mm-hmm. I have this pulled up. This was May 19th. But yeah, hundreds wait in long line IRS offices in Detroit to verify IDs and get tax refunds. Um, so yeah, I recall this being a huge issue this year.
Hmm.
And some people had waited till the last day, or but yeah, from February, March, April, and May, there was a lot of issues with people not being able to get their tax returns this year because they needed to verify their identity.
Hmm.
You guys aren't asking for verification when you're taking it,
Right.
you know? You're not asking for verification when, all these other things. So yeah, this was it. This was a much confusion about why tax refunds aren't arriving. Somebody arrived around 3:15 a.m. to verify her identity, was still waiting for her tax return, as well as her 2022. Together, she says she's owed about 19,000 from tax refunds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really hardcore stuff. And I never once thought, but they knew. What's crazy is the higher ups knew,
Hmm.
and they didn't say anything. And that lack of information drives me up the wall.
Right.
Very
Yeah.
grateful. Yeah,
Yeah.
very grateful for social media and these class action lawsuits. Come on, baby. Come on.
Hmm.
I wouldn't have known anything about the lab produced meat if
Right.
it weren't for a class action, for a lawsuit coming in. That one's not class action yet, I believe. That one's just upset that Florida is no longer allowing to. You can't do that. You can't sell that over there in Florida. Okay,
Good. Period.
take you and your lab rat meat somewhere else. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
y'all keep up with your identities. And I know a lot of people have Life Alert and all those things. Life 360. I mean, Life Alert. Life 360. But from what I've gathered, that wasn't even notified.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, we'll be keeping tabs on that. It said it affected how many? 3 million people?
Roughly. Yeah.
Roughly 3
Estimated.
million people's information just shipped over to God knows who.
Yep.
You start seeing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You're wondering, what's this? What's my credit jumping around for?
Hmm.
Look
Yeah.
into it. And
Please.
how dare the government not make that crystal clear? Oh, we're
Right.
having to verify, guys, because we got hacked or your info got hacked.
It's the lack of transparency for me.
And we're about to see that too with this next topic as well, Godmomma.
All right, moving right along.
Now, child, what's going on?
I don't
What
know.
is going on?
I don't know. So who is saying that monkeypox is on the rise again?
The World Health Organization. That
Yes.
who?
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 Who? Yes, they and I said to you yesterday, I said, Lord, just anybody but Fauci telling me.
Okay.
Anybody but Fauci telling me
And
that
Bill
something is
Gates.
going on. And Bill Gates.
And Bill Gates. I don't need Fauci or Bill Gates up there telling me nothing.
Please.
Well,
What you got for us?
The World Health Organization put out a global health emergency. This is just a clipped up version. They actually did about an hour long panel with all of their doctors, all of the representatives. But this just real quick, it's only a minute long. Let's see what he has to say.
Today, the emergency committee met and advised me that, in its view, the situation constitutes a public health emergency of international concern. I have accepted that advice. The detection and rapid spread of a new clade of Mpox in eastern DRC, its detection in neighboring countries that had not previously reported Mpox, and the potential for further spread within Africa and beyond is very worrying. In addition to other outbreaks of other clades of Mpox in other parts of Africa, it's clear that a coordinated international response is essential to stop these outbreaks and save lives. Today, the emergency committee met and advised me that, in its view, the situation constitutes a public health emergency of international concern. I have accepted that advice. The detection and rapid spread of a new clade of Mpox in eastern DRC, its detection in neighboring countries that had not previously reported
replay. That's okay.
and the potential for further spread within Africa and beyond is very worrying. In addition to other outbreaks of other clades of Mpox in other parts of Africa, it's clear that a coordinated international response is essential to stop these outbreaks and save lives. Today.
Okay. So that's his little clip. Let me go back here real quick. I want to post something or share something with y'all. Because there is discussion for it on Twitter and other places. This just came out. But people start looking for themselves, what is monkeypox? How dangerous is it? Here we go right here. Monkeypox is a rare viral infection that does not spread easily between people. It is usually a mild self-limiting illness, and most people recover within weeks. However, severe illness can occur in some people, and I'm assuming that would be the immune people, right, with deficiency.
Right. And what I was reading was that is more so with the technical name whatever, monkeypox 1, okay? But the new one that they're raising awareness and concerned about is the second, or the mutation of the
variant.
Yes. And they said that the reports in that are more concerning because it progresses more fast, more furious, and it causes death. Whereas the first one, you could kind of treat it like chicken pox, smallpox. But this one, they said it's very aggressive in nature.
And the survival rate so far, I mean, this up here, it's saying more than 99% have a survival rate. The symptoms are just, fever, headache, muscle aches, typical flu-like
Mhm.
symptoms, swollen lymph nodes, chills, exhaustion, a rash that can look like pimples or blisters.
Mhm.
Now, baby, let me tell y'all, they are up in arms right now about how it's getting spread so quickly
Right.
to the states.
Mhm.
Um, they're
And my
saying they're
theory is it's immigration. We have, friend. I mean, the the flux started happening when we started having quote unquote unsecured borders. You know what I mean? When people didn't
Mhm,
have so many regulations in getting to America. It was interesting to me that Trump brought up the Congolese in the Elon Musk interview, and those are the people who that are coming from a hot zone.
mhm, mhm. I have a map of that. Not sure if I'll be able to make it much bigger than this, but here's a little map, and it goes back from January 1st to 2022 to January 2024
Mm-hmm.
of some of the heavier areas. Confirmed cases, I should say. Some of the
Right.
confirmed cases. Um, I'm not really. Some people are saying, no, these are not my words. This is just what's going on Twitter. Y'all know Twitter's a mess. Some of the Twitter people are blaming immigrants bringing it in,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the Twitter people are blaming homosexuals, male homosexuals,
Mm-hmm.
saying, and I guess there is some statistics that are proving it that it's being spread amongst men who have male partners or enjoy intercourse with men.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not sure how much. I mean, because monkeypox has kind of been, like you said, it's been around, but now it's kind of ramped up. It's mutated. Now it's this new variant seems to be a little bit more aggressive, I guess you
Mm-hmm.
can say. Um, I'm not sure where they want us to go with this, though, because we were lied to so much during the COVID situation that how are we to trust a new pandemic?
Right. Well,
Um,
in this health advisory that was sent to New York in May,
mhm,
they're they're pushing the commercialization of a vaccine called Genios.
mhm,
And they want people to basically start prepping and preparing themselves to purchase and push this vaccine for mpox.
mhm,
That is the point.
right.
I don't know how else, really to put it, because like, you know, um, that's really all that, because there is no treatment, there is no the, they basically just give you antibiotics like they would give for chicken pox, smallpox, things like that. But you
Mhm,
kind of just have to wait it out. But it is highly contagious. If you can get it by touching, you can get it by kissing, you can get it sexually transmitted, you can get it sleeping in the sheets of someone else that had it. You can get it from animals. If your animals have it, they can pass it to you. They've had cases where they found it in dogs, on dogs. Um, but it really, like I said in the beginning, it really comes from rodents. So I think that's why New York is kind of like on high alert, because they have a rodent infestation. They have an
mhm,
immigrant a port for immigration.
mhm,
Um, and so they're just preparing their citizens for what's about to hit in major cities,
mhm,
and that's monkeypox. And the photos are ugly, and I'm not saying ugly like in a negative way. I'm saying ugly like, oh my god, that looks awful and painful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those blisters aren't pretty. Mm-mm. I mean, just like you said with chicken pox and stuff, yeah, it's I think they're all, pox family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, anything type coming out on your skin is not comfortable.
Right.
So, yeah,
But didn't
the
they say
contain the
chickenpox was also a strain of herpes though?
mhm,
So
mhm,
monkeypox would be too. So I guess that's
mhm,
why they're saying sexual activity.
mhm.
Oh,
So, and they're just there's a lot of conspiracy, oh, they're doing this right around election season.
mm-hmm.
Um they're doing this like I said, blaming certain groups of people. Statistics do show certain numbers are higher than others. Um yes, Nikki, it's people who travel, period. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
It's not immigration, traveling, just people being people being people is as nice as I
Mm-hmm.
can put it. Okay. Some people don't like to
Right.
wash their hands or their sheets as much as they should. Some people like to wear shoes in their house. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Germs travel, y'all. Germs travel. That's just what they do.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. But
now
I mean,
people,
we can't just rule out that uh, because from the reports and things that I was reading this rising, our area isn't supposed to really have monkeypox because we don't have the environment that would naturally generate monkeypox. We don't
mhm.
have monkeys. We do have rodents, but we
She
don't
said
have
we don't
monkeys.
have monkeys. Girl, stop.
But that is where it came from.
I know. I
That's
mean, we got
you
monkeys,
know,
but yes, they're
but they're
not out. We don't have,
imported. They're
right. We don't have
imported.
wild monkeys, right?
Thank you. Right. And so they said,
She said we
that
don't have
that
monkeys.
we don't have monkeys. We don't have natural monkeys in America. You can't go to the Appalachian. You can't go to wherever and just see wild monkeys swinging from the trees in America. The fuck?
This isn't funny, but that was funny. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, like, it's not one thing's fault. It's a multitude of things' fault. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
it's just not keeping its citizens safe. I thought we
Mhm.
were supposed to have these checks and balances at the border for these specific types of purposes.
Yes.
You
Come on,
know,
Godmomma.
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We're supposed, whether you're an immigrant or a citizen that is traveling, we are supposed to have checks and balances in place at the borders, in the airports, where if you're traveling using
Mhm.
a passport coming from another country, we're supposed to have protocols in place to make sure you're not bringing back an infectious disease on
Contamination.
yourself or in your property. Period.
Mhm. Yeah, you can't bring in certain foods. You can't bring in certain seeds. You can't.
Right.
Yeah. Well, this is from the Mayo Clinic. This is what you sent over, Godmama. And this is, I think, where you're talking about, our region, our geographic region,
Hmm.
isn't a place for that. So it's saying it's a rare disease, caused by the mpox virus. Um, it usually occurs in Central and West Africa. Cases outside of Africa are often due to international travel, imported animals, close contact with an animal or person with mpox. Okay. It's saying it started in 2022. Mpox cases were reported in countries that don't often have mpox, such as the United States. The CDC and prevention continues to monitor cases that have been reported throughout the world, including Europe and the US.
Hmm.
Again, it gives the symptoms. It says it may start 13 to 17 days after you're exposed. So, not, within 2 weeks, you should know if, some
Right.
symptoms will be coming up.
Lord,
Um,
don't please don't be thinking y'all got the monkeypox. No,
mhm.
okay.
The rash will usually appear on your face, hands, or feet. Then it spreads to other parts of the body. But in cases linked to the outbreak that started in 2022, the rash often started in the genitalia area, mouth or
Hmm.
throat.
And
Okay.
that's why they're saying the second one is more sexual related.
Mm-hmm. Started in the genitalia area, y'all. So the mpox rash goes through many stages. Flat spots turn into blisters. Then the blisters will fill with pus, scab over, and fall off over a period of 2 to 4 weeks. Okay. So it's
And
going
they
to take
made
you
it
about
sound so lovely right there, but it ain't that lovely looking.
a
Okay.
blister filled with pus, girl.
Ooh.
No, no. It says you can spread mpox while you have symptoms. So from when your symptoms start until your rash and scabs heal. Okay. So I guess it just kind of like herpes. It needs to be open and active for it to be spread. You know,
Right.
same with a lot of fungal infestations. So it's saying, what causes it. It's just coming in contact with an infected animal or person. I'm not sure why they're not specifying the animal, but they should. Or it can be spread with a person who handles materials such as blankets that have been in contact with someone who has mpox. And that's another thing why I said wash your sheets, y'all.
Please do.
You know,
Pillowcases.
keep up with your sheets. And then think about if you are a traveler, think about the hotel. Think about how they don't always wash their top comforter.
Mm,
If you do have to travel for work, just be mindful of those things. Be mindful of just germs, people, okay?
mhm.
Not just for mpox reason, but for anything. I mean, bed bugs was breaking out not too long ago, all through France, right?
Right.
And then next thing you know, we're hosting the Olympics. So I wouldn't be shocked if there's a bed bug outbreak with some of the people that are coming back. Unfortunate for, that situation. But just be mindful. There's super sex STIs being mutated and stuff. Just be cautious. Be cautious of your partner. Be cautious of germs. I'm not saying you got to be a germaphobe and walk around all covered or anything, but just be mindful of that, especially if you travel.
Please be mindful.
Especially if you travel. I know my kids are about to be doing quite a bit of traveling for their school functions coming up.
My
Uh,
children, yeah. They
yeah.
have a
So.
whole plan to Europe and all that in
hmm
beginning of next year, which is shortly upon us, friend. Oh my God.
It is. So, the way it's saying it spreads from person to person, direct contact, extended close contact for more than 4 hours with respiratory droplets, clothes, sheets, blankets. Um,
Mm-hmm.
an infected pregnant person can spread mpox virus through to a fetus. Mindful of that. Now, how does it get spread from animal? The animal needs to bite or scratch you. Wild game. This was wild to me. Wild game that is cooked for food. Be cautious, I guess. And I don't think they're talking to us here in the U.S.
Right.
This doesn't just they're just giving a right thing. So if you're in another country, because some people do eat monkey brain soup and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
um,
They do.
diet contact with or direct contact with bodily body fluids or rashes of animals. Okay, so I guess dog slobber. What other kind of bodily fluids are you getting from an animal, y'all? Let me stop. Let
Girl,
me get the hell up off here.
you
'Cause
know
these
that in some countries this shit is legal.
to be
Okay?
messing with the animals.
To be messing with
Mm-mm-mm.
them whole animals. Animals cannot consent.
Child.
Period.
And the fact they even had to list that says something. What's up,
It
Coco?
really
Hey,
does.
and Fundi Fee's in the building. Hey, Fundi. Hey, y'all.
We're trying.
So, I mean, for majority of us, well, I can't even say that anymore. For those of us that have some decent common sense, just be mindful. That's all.
Right. Right.
Don't be touching a bunch of things you ain't got no business touching. Okay. And if you
Mm,
see somebody that got some sores on them, you might want to, give them the 6 feet, you know,
you
and,
know,
back up off me.
period.
So that's
Monkeypox,
what they
though.
got going on, baby. I can't
And,
believe they said bodily fluids from an animal. Child, these people are sick.
and can we talk about this vaccine they're about to commercialize? I want to, because they said, monkeypox is runs rampant in East Africa. They can't really keep a hold on it too well.
Mm-hmm.
But now all of a sudden, see, y'all, I have to put my tinfoil hat on real quick.
Come on, Godmomma, put it on.
Because now all of a sudden we have a vaccine for it because it's affecting us as Americans, or it's affecting the global nation as a whole now.
Hmm. Hmm.
The war, so if we've had this vaccine for so long, why haven't we
Utilized
ripped
it.
the root out, and we wouldn't be going through these things? Y'all were so quick to give them polio vaccines that ended up being HIV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's awfully curious.
Yeah.
And I know I saw Nikki checking me in the comments about, well, Bill Gates, is 88% of a funder. Yeah, he's a huge donator to the World Health. He's also a huge donator to the HIV. There's a lot of philanthropy that Bill Gates and his wife does. But I want to hear from the doctors.
Right.
I don't want to hear from the donors. And we appreciate people who support and donate to this. I've said this before. I know this is a little off topic, but I've said this before. There's organizations that the oil field company has. They say, oh,
Right.
we're here to clean up the earth and we're here to clean up oil spills, but they're owned by the people creating the problem. So I'm a little skeptical when I see some of these foundation members speaking instead of just the doctors. Just let the doctors do what they do. And you can get a PhD in art. I don't want to talk to them. I'm talking about the doctors who are trained in, these particular, you know what I'm saying? You could have a PhD in science, and you could have a PhD in political science. Okay, that's cute. I need a PhD for
This specific
disease,
thing right
for
here.
disease, for disease.
So,
So, yeah, I don't want to hear from Bill Gates, and I mean it. So monkeypox, guys, I don't want to pull up too many pictures because that's just not what I want to do. I think we all know what a blister with pus looks like. If not, you guys can research it yourself. I have tryphobia, so it's not something I enjoy looking at whatsoever. What level of concern do you have for monkeypox, Godmomma? Let me ask you that. Out of the things that you've kind of researched for yourself, what's your concern rate, 1 through 10?
I think in my local area, I'm at maybe a 1. But I think in bigger cities where there is a lot of interaction, there isn't a lot of cleanliness happening. I think it might get bad for some people. I do think it could be like a 6, 7 on some priority lists. I think now, if you ask, I think most people will get the vaccine, whether they feel like they're in danger or not, concerned or not. They'll just go ahead and get it, just to be precautious.
Okay, I'm with you. I think I'll give myself about a 3, only because there's travel involved in my life. So I'd say I'm at a 3. I'm at a 3. It's not something that, I have other concerns that are at a 7, 8, 9, and 10. Monkeypox is definitely down at a 3 right now.
Definitely.
So, okay, cool. Yeah.
But we wanted to make sure we brought it to y'all because it was trending news today. That they're concerned about this situation. They're ready to push a vaccine out. So y'all just do your own due diligence, do your research, keep, like Lurk said earlier, keep yourselves clean, keep distance. And with the Social Security thing that we talked about at the beginning, and the hack of your information, keep an eye on your credit scores. Keep an eye on your credit report. Report anything that seems suspicious. Freeze your credit reports. I don't know if a lot of people know they can go and freeze all of their accounts, but you have the ability for free to go freeze all of your accounts. Getting them unfrozen is a little hassle, but you can freeze your shit so nobody can use it. Not even you. Not even you, baby.
Okay, I will share this one picture. And what I put in the chat, y'all, is the World Health Organization live. It was about an hour long that they put out yesterday. And that's over on the Twitter, on X. But look at this. Look at this photo real quick. I'm just going to warning for people with trypophobia. Oh, this is what they look like scabbed up, y'all.
Painful.
Yeah. So not fun at all. And imagine that on your genitalia,
Right.
on your sensitive parts. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Coco. I gave you a warning. I'm sorry, baby. So yeah, there's a link right there. So if you guys want to hear more than just the little 50-second clip I played from the World Health, you guys can go listen to it. It kind of it sounded to me that they were just kind of waiting to get back more data. They wanted to put out this concern because it's spreading. They said there was 12 countries in Africa. Then it's starting to show up in places where, like you said, typically it wouldn't come from. So there is concern. However, I think they're still waiting for some more data to come back in before they can address how to contaminate it, how to shut it down, and move right along with that. So not super concerned, not super alarming for me quite yet. But it, it's something that's there. It's on the list of, okay. I'll keep an eye out in case I see any rashes popping up or any discomfort, swollen glands, fevers, things to look for.
Right.
But like I said, after the way they did us through COVID, it's gonna take a lot for me to start trusting these people. Sorry,
And
not sorry.
what is also keeping my tinfoil hat tight on my head is for the show we have upcoming for the concerned citizens tomorrow, and the actions of some of our VPs when it comes to high stress, high tense situations and mandated situations. So I can't take my tinfoil hat off just yet with this monkeypox situation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, because we went through it.
We went through it.
Yeah. We went through some serious stuff with the 19, with the Rona. So will this be used for propaganda again well, of course it is, in our elections, right?
Oh yeah.
I
wouldn't be surprised if they're talking about it at the debate, which they should. How are you? And I know, how are you going to keep this from happening, right? How are you going to protect the rest of the nation that's not infected, so to speak?
Right. And those who are susceptible, the autoimmune, the elderly, children, they just love to, touch things they ain't got no business touching. Okay. They don't be wiping their hands, or, they be wiping their nose and then eating crackers and playing with toys and shit.
Right.
What's up, Big King Raccoon? We discussed that a little bit earlier. And I saw Nikki said she had to block you, but I didn't see why. Oh. We talked about that as well. And Nikki also said, when you provide 88% of an organization's money, your opinion and agenda is going to come through. This is true. This is true, Nikki. This is true.
It's very, very true.
This is true. And we did discuss that. We over here on the podcast, we're not going to put that on anybody.
No.
But there are statistics. We did mention it, that the statistics have shown that it is high in men who, are sexually active with other men. So in the homosexual community, you just got a double yolk egg. Oh, that's what's up. That's good luck right there. A chicken egg or one of them, because that happens a lot with those emu eggs. Well, I don't know if you eat emu eggs. Anyways, Okay, so we did address that. We did address it, Big King. And that was also another thing that we talked about. We're not going to place it just on the immigration and the migrants coming in, because there's people who travel for work internationally. And let's not forget, y'all, we just had the Olympics. We had people coming in and out. And I'm not talking about the Olympians, the people that were playing. I'm talking about the people who built the Olympics, people who were there to set up stuff. They didn't stay, they came back home. So, and I'm not saying, they went, I'm not saying those people are bringing it, but I'm just saying there's been a lot of international travel lately. The stuff that's going on with our quote unquote Middle East situation, there's been a lot of travel with military personnel. So,
and they usually, and shout out to, our military, and the people who risk their lives, but they're usually the ones that bring shit back, if we're gonna be honest, because they do so much traveling,
That's
and
right.
they're exposed to so much shit.
That's right.
That they're the ones that usually tend to bring it back. It is what it is at this point. If you're gonna get vaccinated, get vaccinated. If you ain't, go get some medicine if you get some bumps on you. That's all I know.
Or keep it to yourself, please. If you start seeing something, go ahead.
Isolate,
please go isolate in your house.
Put them in the corner.
I mean, we don't need you running around here looking like Ronnie with her skaties. Don't do it, please.
Oh my gosh, no.
She was gonna. If anything started a pandemic, it might have been Ronnie. Okay. Because she do be traveling public transportation quite a bit
with them crusty hands, touching everything. Okay.
About the origin, yes, they did, Will. And if I'll drop it one more time, this is where you guys can go listen to the whole. They said the origin came out of the Congolese nations, right? The Republic of Congo,
right?
Out of the ROC. Is where they said it began, and then it's been there for a while. You guys, monkeypox didn't just come out overnight. It's not like the Wuhan situation. This has been around for some years, y'all, and it's now just mutated. It's just mutated, which is a typical for these type of things, guys. It's a virus. That's what they do. They get stronger.
What was strange to me is, I don't know if you remember, but if sometime last year, one of them fancy people in them suits on the television was talking about the next pandemic we have is going to be worse than the first one. So I don't know.
They said 19 was the test run, is what I heard.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know if this is the monkeypox, but remember we also had Ebola. An Ebola scare, a few years ago?
Yeah, well, the bird flu made its way back too. Swine flu or bird flu, something else came back too. Yeah. Listen, I don't get around like that. So unless I'm traveling with my kids, I don't talk to a lot of people. I don't touch a lot of hands. I really don't. I stay with some Germans. So it's just not a big super threat to me.
No, and that's why I said it's at like a 1. Because even if I do when I go to the store and people get too close, I tend to kind of look at them like 6 feet rule still applies. Back up, Why
are you in my space?
Yes. Right, personal bubble here, please. Thank you.
So that's all, y'all. Just do you get educated. And if you are a germaphobe, now's the time to stock up on your little Germex and stuff and those things. Get your supplies ready.
Get your Germex ready.
And I agree with Big Raccoon, King Raccoon over here. It didn't work in their favor last time. Okay, because people were not acting right.
They sure weren't. Yeah, you weren't. Yeah, we can doctor something up with plastic wrap.
Let's get our thinking caps on.
Okay.
Oh gosh, it is a fear tactic. It is, and
I agree.
But again, I know what it's like to have germy little kids around. I know how quick when it's cold season, the
They
school's gonna, you know what I'm saying?
we
Every teacher and student, they're gonna have it within the first 3 days because that's how quick it travels.
I got a text last night from the teacher saying that strep throat and the flu is already going around the school. So
And what, y'all been back 2 weeks?
yeah, a week fully because we started in the middle of the week last week.
Okay.
But yeah, already strep throat and flu is on its way. So I'm in the house this rising, just Lysol, everything,
Mm-hmm.
bleach and water.
Mm-hmm. See,
Yeah,
if I want to dig deep, the bleach water is y'all need to. Okay,
dig
if
deep.
your grandma didn't teach you, we will.
Uh-huh.
Don't be shy. Get your little bleach, throw it in your water, and wipe down all surfaces that are touched by humans. You'll be all right.
And get so you can even get a little spiritual, a little holy with it too. Okay.
Cleaning for Jesus is what my grandma said. Jesus ain't gonna like it if he come in his house and it don't smell like bleach. Okay.
And wiping them sins, baby. Wipe them sins, them demons, get
I
them
had me
out.
scared. Is Jesus coming today, Grandma? Why are we cleaning so much?
Sometimes I put a little cinnamon oil in there, a little cinnamon powder in there, clean
That's
some shit.
that's another thing I do in the fall. I like to boil orange peels and cinnamon on my
Yeah.
stove.
Hmm.
And for some reason that to me in my head, I don't know if it's true. I don't think it is, but it keeps the sickness out the air. Let me go boil me some citrus. But I'm with you, Raccoon, as far as the fear tactic trying to control the population control. But see, I want to go deeper with that. That's why I don't want to hear from some of the big donors.
Right.
I don't know if you're in it for the right reasons or are you just in it to push an
Play a
agenda.
game. Uh-huh.
Push an agenda. So I get a little paranoid about some of that. I love philanthropy and all of the wonderful things that's come out of it, but I am cautious because I've seen it with my own eyes. People who have done wrong will try and make a foundation
Hmm.
for the right, and it's like, wait, this is I don't know. I don't know. So I get a
Yeah.
little paranoid about certain things.
Yeah, I agree. Because a lot of the times that's just I heard once, I forgot who said it, but they said, what do extremely rich people do when they get bored? They play with people.
Mm-hmm.
Because their money, what else? They've bought everything else in the world. What else is there to do? Buy and play with people.
That's right. And it's concerning to me,
It
especially
is.
at such a high level. This is global, right?
Yes,
It's one
it
thing
is.
if you're, just playing Sims, okay, but when you're
Right.
here on a global level, so yeah, it's not another one. I read Godmomma fulfilled. It's not true. I told you I get a little paranoid. Okay, I get a little get a little paranoid. So, all right, y'all. That's gonna be our little show for today. We will be back tomorrow for an official podcast show. Tomorrow we are going to be breaking down the vice presidents on both sides,
Hmm.
and just seeing what these vice presidents have to offer. And like Godmama said, well, are they gonna be able to talk it like they walk it, right, Kamala?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
What
So.
what do they do in high stressful, high tension situation? What do they do when it's really crunch time in this
Mm-hmm.
country? What are their policies? What do they plan on doing when they get in their seat?
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's this concerning shit on both of their ends, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. Let me share this before we go, since we are ending off with the vice presidents. Yesterday, report came out from a Fox News contributor, Andrew C. McCarthy. He says, prepare for Trump to be sentenced to prison on September 18th. This just came out yesterday. So while we're over here, people are battling of who should be president, there are people ready to lock that man up. So
Hmm.
if that happens, who's going to replace Trump as the nominee? Will it be Vance? If so, we need to get to know him right away because we don't know if Trump is going to be, you know what I'm saying, make it to November.
Right. He
'Cause
can
they
still
talking about
campaign from
he going to
prison.
prison. Yeah, that came out yesterday, Godmomma.
Yeah, he can still campaign from prison, but it's gonna be a little difficult for him. But you know,
We know the VP doesn't do anything, but in case, I mean, you see Kamala's having to step up for Biden. So the VP, not necessarily, when you have an active
no.
president, they don't really do too much. However, if something happens, they take their place. So we need to
Well,
know.
I mean, isn't that what everybody's boasting Kamala about right now? The things that she did as acting VP,
Hmm.
the laws she helped write and make as acting VP.
That's right.
Hey, Lion Pelt, Rich Rod.
They sure are.
So the VP does have some swing. You know, they do have to run it by. You know, they can't make the decision themselves or push it themselves, but they do have some swing. It's like, you know, the hand of the king.
That's right.
It's like their right hand man. So we hope you guys join us back here tomorrow. It'll probably be usual Friday nights. Maybe we can get some participation from the chat on the link. You guys can give us your side and what your thoughts are after the show on our vice presidents that are coming. Exactly, Coco. Build up your immunity. Thank you. Build your immunity.
Yeah. Build your immunity.
Speaking of, don't let me forget this though, because speaking of prison, if y'all haven't checked out our Life in Georgia State Prison live that we did, I think Monday, make sure you check that out. It is very, very interesting. Very interesting to see what happens in these prisons in Georgia. Yeah. And we might have to do something monthly. Pick a state.
On some prisons. Yeah, we might have to check in because I did follow some people I followed 2 people in Smith Prison on TikTok. I won't be writing them, but just keeping an eye and seeing what's going on. Right. So, all right, y'all, go catch the replay of the Georgia prisons or any of our videos, okay? And yeah, we will be back mañana, tomorrow. See what the VPs are talking about. All right, y'all, be easy. Thank y'all for being here. Hit the up like, and we'll see y'all soon.
Toodles.
Peace.
Like my release, this is a part of what I do to have fun, and I'm a creative. Creativity, I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's what keeps life interesting and makes it have fun. Makes me have fun.